Welcome. In front of me is a Motorola Moto G56, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and the tricks you can do on this phone. So let's start off by opening up our settings and opening up, well, if I can actually find the settings. Not in here, not in here. Okay, you know what, I'm just gonna do it through the notifications. So from here we can begin by going into the personalization, which is a general section for customizing the look and feel of your device. It's pretty basic, but it does give you some nice options, for instance like the accent colors right here, which change, as you can see in notifications, the colors, the clock, and other things like, for instance, the settings icons. And then we also have the icon shapes, and I believe we also should have icon packs, or not. So it looks like we don't have icon packs, unfortunately. We have lock screen, general like full themes, which include basically a mixture of everything here. And we have fonts, layouts, which layout is just for the home screen. You can actually keep it pretty tightly packed, which is pretty cool. I do want to point out this is not something that you typically see, so this is actually a nice thing. Display size and text, this might be a good section for people that have problems seeing their phone. So you can increase everything here, make it just absurdly huge. And obviously if you have problems seeing, this might be something that you might be interested in. Alright, I turned on by mistake this, which I don't want. Now let's move over to the display now. And here we can start off with the dark theme. Now you can turn it on right here. It's just basically a dark mode. It might give you better battery life, considering I believe this is an AMOLED display, so pixels that are fully black don't actually need energy to be lit up. But you can also do is tap on the text itself, and this will give you the option to set it on a schedule, which gives you two options, either sunset to sunrise or on a custom timer. So this will then make it so the device switches automatically from light to dark mode based on a time of day, giving you what could be considered best of both worlds. Now the next option below that is colors. This just defines how saturated your display is, and if you find the display to be oversaturated, I sometimes do, you can change it to, for instance, something like natural. It will tone down the colors slightly to just give you a little bit nice, more pleasant and realistic image. While Vivid just tries to crank up the colors to make it nice, vibrant, and very flashy. Now going back here, we also have the display refresh rate, and we have the smart and balanced, hyper smooth or efficient first, which are the stupidest names I have ever effing heard. So what the first one is basically smart mode. It utilizes both high and low refresh rate, low meaning like 60. Hyper smooth is basically should be all the time high refresh rate without the dropping down to lower refresh rate when it's needed, like the balance would do. And efficient first would basically prioritize just battery life and try to run the display at a lower refresh rate up to 60 frames, presumably dropping it maybe even lower, but this is all just kind of me spitballing here, because the naming scheme is absolutely moronic. Well, to be fair, the refresh rates are what I'm saying is correct. The specific refresh rates most likely might not be. The hyper smooth will be the 120. This will be the up to 60, up to 120, but I just don't know how low it can go, and if it even goes below the specified refresh rate, while this would go up to 120 and drop below definitely to 60. Not sure if it goes below 60. So yeah. Now, just with that kind of explanation out of the way, the purpose of showing this is if you don't see much of a difference between the high refresh rate, for instance the hyper smooth and efficient, so 120 or 60, it might be more beneficial to you to select the 60 option, which is this one, and forgo this. And the reason for this, if you don't see a difference, you're just wasting battery on something that you can't really see. What you will get is just a better battery life, which obviously that you might actually see. While if you do see a difference, stick with the smart and balance and don't ever consider the hyper smooth, which is the 120, as this gives you the benefit of it without the drawbacks. So yeah. Now moving further and into the, I believe it's going to be somewhere else, let's see, gestures. Yep, we have system navigation, and here we have the 3-button navigation and gestures. Now we can click on the settings for the gestures, which also gives us more options. You can increase or decrease the sensitivity of each one of these gestures from the side to side. And something that I want to point out is this is an Android feature that technically almost every Android should have, but even when you like enable it through developer options, I think, where you can, only Motorola, at least at this point, has this functioning, as I can see. When you go to swipe back, it actually shows you partially what the previous page is, so you can see the other settings right here, which this is Android, and almost no other phone actually has this, even though it's running Android and it's baked into it, so it's like deliberately being turned off. And it's a pretty cool kind of feature where you just get a kind of glimpse of what the previous page was. Anyway, now swiping down, we also have the navigation bar. So we have the show or hide, which is this bar right here, and you can just hide it for a cleaner look. Do you want to check something? So we do have circle to search. Now it tells me that it's not enabled, so I can enable it. Well, it's not, I don't know where it is. So when enabled, you can see I can do things like circle to search, like the name would imply. You can also tap on things. It also allows you to select text from here, no matter what's on the display. It is limited though if application has some kind of protection that you typically, for instance, can't record screen on it or take screenshots of it, like garbage as Netflix or Spotify. Circle to search also won't be able to see the screen, because why the hell would it be, right? So this is, I'm pointing that out because it's a nice feature, and if you enable, or if you want to enable hide, you can't have circle to search. Now Motorola did something again stupid right here, and other devices have the circle to search on the same thing as same page as the navigation, because it's associated with it. You can only use circle to search with the gestures, and if you hide it, it should automatically turn it off, and you should have the option to turn it on below. Moronic design here. I have no actual clue where the circle to search is, because some dipshits at Motorola decided to put it somewhere else instead of keeping it where it was by default usually. So yeah. So typically you can just hide this, but by hiding it you won't be able to use circle to search, and vice versa, circle to search you won't be able to enable this. Personally, find that circle to search is more useful to me than hiding this, even though I'd like to have both, and it shouldn't be difficult considering you can just make this transparent and the area should still be active. But again, let's give it a couple more years till they figure that functionality out. They might be slow, but they got the spirit, you know. So at the moment we're just kind of stuck with being forced to have the bar to use circle to search instead of hiding it. Now, one last thing that I want to talk about is the swipe for assistant. This option specifically in gestures, as this is this garbage. If it actually launches. There we go, it launched. So it's Gemini just launching. Now, personally I like to turn this garbage off, because we have plenty ways to launch this. Google is literally cramming this in every orifice that it can find on you, so you are forced to use this. This is one. Then we have Hey Goo, which I could finish, but I don't want to activate your Google Assistant. So that'll be another one. Another way would be to hold your power button. Well, would you look at that, another way of launching it. And another way would be to go to here and search for Google. Look at that, that's another way you can launch your assistant. And another one would be by searching for Gemini. Wow, we have so many effing ways to launch the same dog shit. I'm pretty sure one is enough, like every other application has it. So yeah, I just like to turn most of those off, because there is plenty of ways to launch this trash. So if I want to use it, I will. I have at least one way always to use it. I don't need 5 ways to launch the same trash on my phone. So yeah, I like to turn that off, at least this one specifically, because it's very close to just swipe up, and sometimes you might just swipe at an angle and it might launch it. You didn't want to do it, but it just kind of, you know, did it because that's the intent of Google, I presume. So anyway, that basically concludes the tweaks, tricks that I want to show you and the rant. And if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.